Now, there are some other common civil procedure timeframes. They're week-based, 7-day, 14-day, 21-day, and 28-day timeframes. By the way, by timeframe, we almost always mean deadline, but a couple are durations or waiting periods, delays. Unless context indicates otherwise, always assume we're talking about a deadline, though. You'll remember the week-based timeframes by a story of your hypothetical first day as an attorney. Your first day as an attorney starts promising and then gets a little crazy. Your first assignment's simple enough. Draft and file one opposing affidavit in preparation for an upcoming hearing. Drafting's a breeze, but when you go to print, the printer jams twice. You shake your fist and yell, "Holy print jam, Batman!" You give up on the printer and swing by 3 casas to see if one of your 3 amigos has a printer you can use. Finally, you get it printed. You head back to the office and a partner gives you 4 post-trial motions to file before the end of the day. What's with the one opposing affidavit? Well, that reminds you that you must file opposing affidavits at least 1 week before the applicable hearing. Again, one opposing affidavit, 1 week prior. The print jam, PRINTJAM, reminds you of 8 key times that you have 2-week time frames. Remember, the printer jammed 2 times. 2 jams, 2 weeks. The P in print jam stands for post 12B motion answer. Again, P, post 12B motion answer. If your 12B motion is denied or the court delays deciding it until trial, you have 14 days from that notice to answer the complaint. R, required initial disclosures, normally, after the 26F discovery conference. Again, R, required initial disclosures. I, impleader after answer. Again, I, impleader after answer. N, notice of hearing before it starts. Again, N, notice of hearing. T, TRO expiration, unless extended for cause. Again, T, TRO expiration. J, jury demands after last pleading that put damages on the table. Again, J, jury demands. A, amended pleading response after service. Again, A, amended pleading response. And finally, M, more definite statement after request. Again, M, more definite statement. So, what are the 8 key times you have 2-week time frames? Print jam. What does the P in that stand for? Post 12B motion answer. What does the R stand for? Required initial disclosures. I, impleader. N, notice of hearing. T, TRO expiration. J, jury demands. A, amended pleading response. M, more definite statement. Print jam, again, post 12B motion denial answer, required initial disclosures, impleader, notice of hearing, TRO expiration, jury demands, amended pleading response, and more definite statement. Now let's talk casas. Casas reminds you of key times that you have 3-week time frames. Remember, you went to 3 casas. The CA in casas stands for complaint or counterclaim answer after service. Again, CA, complaint or counterclaim answer. Now S, strike. A motion to strike pleadings after service when a response is not allowed for that pleading. Again, strike. A motion to strike pleadings after service when a response is not allowed for that pleading. By the way, if a response is allowed, you must move to strike before responding. Now A, amend pleading, once as a right after serving it. Again, amend pleading as a right. And finally S, sanction filing delay after serving sanction motion, must wait at least 3 weeks. Again, sanction filing delay. So when do you have 3-week time frames? Casas. What does CA stand for? Complaint or counterclaim answer. Again, complaint or counterclaim answer. What does the S stand for? Strike. A motion to strike pleadings after service when a response is not allowed. Again, strike. A, amend pleading as a right. Again, amend pleading as a right. S, sanction filing delay. Again, sanction filing delay. Casas, complaint or counterclaim answer, strike, amend pleading as a right, and sanction filing delay. Now finally, the 4 post-trial motions. Post-trial motions normally have 4-week deadlines. Some common post-trial motions include motions to renew J-Mall and motions for a new trial or for additional or amended findings. Again, some common post-trial motions include motions to renew J-Mall and motions for a new trial or for additional or amended findings. All right, let's recap your first day. You had to print 1 opposing affidavit with a 1-week deadline. How many times did the printer jam? 2 times. So the print jam helps you remember 2-week time frames. What does print jam stand for? Post 12B motion denial answer, required initial disclosures, impleader, notice of hearing, TRO expiration, jury demands, amended pleading response, and more definite statement. Again, post 12B motion denial answer, required initial disclosures, impleader, notice of hearing, TRO expiration, jury demands, amended pleading response, and more definite statement. How many casas did you go to get it finally printed? 3. What does casas stand for? Complaint or counterclaim answer, strike, amend pleading as a right, and sanction filing delay. Again, complaint or counterclaim answer, strike, amend pleading as a right, and sanction filing delay. Finally, how many post-trial motions did the partner ask you to file? 4. So post-trial motions have 4-week deadlines. Alrighty, some of the deadlines and other timeframes in these mnemonics are defaults. They can be overridden by party agreement or with court leave or permission. Also, these mnemonics cover a ton of bases, but they're not meant to hit every single time frame in the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Frankly, some don't come up enough that we felt them worth drilling. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Crescendo is a goldmine for innovative content like this. Check out our website, see what we've got. Tons of stuff to help you through law school and in crushing the bar exam. For now, happy cramming.